Hello, Phil Thomas, New Era Systems. I have to ship this Comtech down converter today. It's called a DT4503. It converts from C-Band in the range of 3.625 gigahertz to 4.2 gigahertz. That's the input frequency. The output frequency is 70 megahertz. So this is typically how it used to be used a few years ago with standard 70 meg modems. Many people still use it now. 70 megahertz modems are extremely cheap, and so it's often a very good solution as opposed to going to L-band. The output on the antenna would be from an LNA. The LNA passes the input frequency, as I mentioned, approximately 4 gig to this unit. The output's going to be 70 meg. So the way we're going to test it, I don't have an LNA or an antenna, so I'm going to use the frequency generator that you see there to input a frequency range starting at 3.625. Then we'll go up in a couple of steps to the maximum 4.2. And the output will be seen on that spectrum analyzer. And the output should be a solid 70 meg right across the input frequency range. And that's what we're going to test. And if it is good across the frequency range, we're going to pack it and ship it today. Okay, first step, turn on the down converter. Okay, the good news, it's come up without any fault, so that's a good opening look. Let's see what input frequency it expects. Okay, currently it's looking for 4135, but I want to start lower than that. I want to start at 3625, the bottom end of the range. Okay, 3625. It's also showing that there's an attenuation already set on this down converter of 5 dB. It doesn't matter one way or another. So the RX is shown as off, so I'm going to change that to on. Enter. Okay, now I'm going to turn on the spectrum analyzer that I'm going to set to 70 megahertz and the frequency generator that I'm going to set to 3625 to match what this down converter expects. It's a CW because even though this is a swept signal generator, in this case we're just going to generate a static 3625. So I'm going to go to frequency. And that is in megahertz. So there it is, 3625 shown. The input power is neg 82, which is good because typically an LNA doesn't put out very much power. Now I'm going to turn on the spectrum analyzer. This is a low frequency spectrum analyzer. It runs from 9 kilohertz to 1.5. So I'm going to set the span, I'm going to set the frequency range. Frequency is going to be 70 megahertz. Going to set the span to 2 megahertz because we're generating a CW and the CW has virtually no span or very little span. Although the frequency on the frequency generator is 3625, you're not seeing anything on the spectrum analyzer yet because the power range is very low. Low power range input to a down converter is a good thing because typically the output from LNA is very low anyway. So I'm just going to crank up the power now, gradually, watching the spectrum analyzer for a signal. There it's starting to show. Okay, we've got an input now of negative 35 dBm. Showing a nice clean 70 meg output. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to go back to the down converter, and I'm going to change the frequency on that to 4 gig, and then I'm going to change the frequency on the frequency generator also to 4 gig, and we should still see approximately the same level on the spectrum analyzer. I'm not familiar with these down converters very clearly, but I should be able to press enter, increase, and we're at 4, and I'm just going to make it 4 even. Enter again. Okay, so we've changed the input. Now if we go and look at the spectrum analyzer, now if you look at the spectrum analyzer, there's no output. What I need to do, I need to change the frequency on the frequency generator. Just going to change it to 4 gig. That was easy. And immediately you see the corresponding output of 70 meg on the spectrum analyzer. Didn't measure it exactly, but it seems to be at about the same level as it should be. So now we're going to go one step more. We're going to take it up to the top end of the range. Top end of the range is 4.2 gigahertz. And again, we're going to check and make sure that the output is at approximately the same level as shown on the spectrum analyzer. Okay, 4.2. Enter. 4.2, enter. It's easy. Oh, don't forget to change and put the RX on. There. Okay. Done. Now let's go back and look and see what we've got on the output on the spectrum analyzer. We have to change the input frequency on this swept signal generator. Going to go to 4.2 gigahertz, and immediately you see the 70 meg signal jump onto the screen. So that's it. We've gone through the entire range, and we know that this down converter works perfectly. So now we're going to wrap it up and ship it, and hopefully it will go out of the door today. Thanks for watching.